Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Straight Up Truth. And as you know, we have been going through a book entitled Know the Words of Jesus in 30 Days. And if you want to get the book, the author is J. Stephen Lang. Okay, and so for those of you that are just joining us, we are on day 10. And if you want to go back and bring yourself up to speed, you can see the other videos that I posted on the YouTube channel. So we are on day 10, and the title of today's lesson is The Wind Blows Where It Pleases. And that means we're going to talk about the Holy Spirit, exactly how it works inside of a person. So the Holy Spirit is many things. Jesus referred to the Holy Spirit as counselor. And this is what he said. Jesus uses the term counselor to refer to the Holy Spirit who serves the believer as an advocate, a helper, and leads them into the truth. Okay? So the memory verse for today's lesson is going to be taken from the book of John, chapter 6, verse 63. And it says, "The Spirit gives life. The flesh accounts for nothing." Now, I'll go back later in the lesson and we're going to take a look at that verse again, okay? Now, we saw in the earlier chapter that Jesus was baptized, when he was baptized, at the River Jordan, which I had the pleasure to visit Israel, and I went to the River Jordan, and it was a wonderful experience. I got video of that visit to Israel when I'm at the Jordan River. It's on the channel, and you can go and check that out after we finish this lesson. Okay, I think you will enjoy it. I had a great time. So when Jesus was baptized, the Holy Spirit at the River Jordan descended upon him in the form of a dove. Now, remember, his cousin John the Baptist is the one who is baptizing him at the River Jordan, and this is right before he starts his ministry. Now, remember, out of all the people that Jesus encountered, this is what he said about John the Baptist. He said, "There is no one greater born of a woman than John the Baptist." He doesn't say that about anybody else in the Bible. He says this about John the Baptist, okay? So he gets baptized. The Holy Spirit descends upon him in the form of a dove. And afterward, the Holy Spirit drove him into the wilderness to be tested by Satan. Okay. Now, I visited Jordan, and I visited an area in Israel where the children of Israel was wandering around in the desert for 40 years. Let me tell you, when I was over there, I was looking around at this vast, desolate land. And let me tell you, for the Holy Spirit to drive Jesus into that type of area to be tested, man, it was the wilderness for real, for real. And I was taking footage of it, and all I could think to myself was that, like, man, these people are wandering around out here for 40 years. And let me tell you, when it's dark out there, it's dark. And it gets cold in the desert at nighttime. I was out there at nighttime. It is cold out there. And so of course, we don't know what time of the year, the season, when Jesus was driven into the desert by the Holy Spirit to be tested before he started his ministry. But whether it was in the summertime or whether it was in the wintertime, I mean, just think about it. The conditions is harsh. It was nothing to be found out there. It was just desolate land, just rock and just desert. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I don't know if I could survive out there. He was out there for 40 days and 40 nights. And of course, he was driven out there under the influence and guidance of the Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit provided him the strength and the fortitude to endure and go through what he needed to go through before he began his ministry. All right. So, I'll pick it back up. Afterwards, after he got baptized, the Spirit drove him into the wilderness to be tested by Satan. In fact, the Holy Spirit appears much earlier in Jesus' story in the form of his miraculous conception. Remember, Mary was a virgin and she was impregnated by the Holy Spirit. Okay? Impregnated with Christ by the Holy Spirit. A woman that had never been with a man. This is how the birth of Jesus came about. His mother Mary was pledged to marry Joseph, but before they came together, she was found to be with child through the Holy Spirit. You can find that in the book of Matthew. Mary had been told by the angel Gabriel, the Holy Spirit will come upon you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you. So the Holy One to be born will be called the Son of God. Mary later, after Jesus was born, her and Joseph took him to the temple to dedicate him to the Lord. They encountered an elderly Simeon who had a revelation from the Holy Spirit that he would not die until he had seen the consolation of Israel, which is Jesus the Christ, the Messiah. And on the day that Mary and Joseph were in the temple, the Holy Spirit led Simeon to them. You can find this story in the book of Luke. The next mention of the Holy Spirit is in the Gospels at Jesus' baptism, followed by the temptation. Afterward, Jesus returned to Galilee in the power of the Spirit, and the news about him spread throughout the whole countryside. Now, in the synagogue of his hometown, Nazareth, okay, that was another place. When I was in Israel, I got to go to Nazareth and the city of Nazareth, and it was amazing to be walking around in Jesus's hometown. Now, of course, I was tripping because I'm like, my footsteps is actually in Nazareth. I could have never dreamed in a million years that not only would I go to Jesus's hometown, but that I would go to the Sea of Galilee. I would go to the River Jordan where Jesus was baptized. I actually dipped water myself out of the Jordan River, and I brought it back to the United States. And I also did the same thing at the Sea of Galilee. I have videos of all of this on my YouTube channel. So if you guys are interested, go over there and take a look. And I think you'll find it interesting. I know, it was an amazing experience for me. I mean, it's something that, I'll remember for the rest of my life. And I have been literally around the world. I've gone through, I don't know how many passports, but my trip to Israel, not once, but twice, it was just amazing. It was incredible. And I'll do a separate video on that and show you some of the places that I went and what happened and where me and my friends hung out at. But yeah, so in the synagogue in his hometown of Nazareth, which is where he grew up, Jesus read a passage from the scroll of Isaiah. Oh my gosh. He was in the synagogue and he read Isaiah 61. Isaiah 61, verse 1. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me just stick to the script. I get carried away. So he's in Nazareth and he goes to the synagogue. And what happened? Oh man,